This has been long overdue, let's be honest. And by this, of course, I mean working on the UPR, which I keep on being surprised how much progress has been made on it. Like, genuinely, I keep on thinking it's like a backwater, like, fail project, which, frankly, I'm never going to work on something like the UPR again, but it's still impressive how much work has been done on it, you know? I don't know, it is still, like, kind of impressive, just the fact that it exists in the first place. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Over here on the NoU SMP, or NoU server, or whatever the hell you want to call it, we have been not busy. We've been actually vacant. No one's been on the server. That's really depressing, right? So, and I think I've said this, but Jesus. I think I've said this before, but I had basically planned to turn the NoU server into a single player server until other people join. Like more people recognize that I've been on the server a lot and maybe come check out what I've been working on. And until then, I will show you lovely folks all the good work that I will be doing. One thing that really hurts about single player Minecraft is that I don't really, I don't want to feel like I've wasted my time on something no one's ever gonna see. I like it when other people can see the stuff that I've been working on, just because I like sharing the art, I like sharing the work, I like building a community. And that's something that Gear Mage had that, you know, single player servers don't have, is that, like, I had an audience watching me play the modded server, or the modded single player game, sorry. And, you know, it really made me feel like there was something I was working towards, even though it was still, like, a single player server. And when Gear Mage died because, you know, the mod was too powerful and killed the game, I had this to turn to, but this was a server back then with more people and more stuff. So until people come back on, this is now my single player server. I'm inviting friends to come back on. Let us work on the UPR. Now, importantly, there was a lot of planning that went into the UPR, but it was all verbal planning, so I can't really remember a lot of it. Oh, geez, wasting gunpowder there. I remember we wanted to build an iron farm and a trading hall over in the UPR. Ooh, wait, did we want a villager breeder? I feel like we did, right? Because this isn't really a villager breeder. Yeah. There was a contract. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I found it. Now, oh, jeez. The contract basically stipulated that the UPR gets free reign over the SRC iron farm, with the understanding that SRC is going to be able to get free reign over UPR resources. Now, because no one worked on the UPR for the entire duration of the 5-month deal, I thought I could highlight that. Yeah, this contract is now void. The UPR cannot take from the SRC iron farm, and SRC cannot take from the UPR resources with citizen prices. I, because this is a single player server, am like becoming like the final authority on this and saying the UPR and SRC get to use each other's resources until otherwise stated, or until like it's no longer convenient. I do want the UPR to be self-reliant, but I also I want the UPR to be able to build up, and I don't want to like be starving the entire time I'm here. So yeah, that's it. Contracts get changed all the time. What do you want from me? Anyway, so I think what we need to do is we need to build up some of the important farms that the UPR is going to need to continue like everyday existence. Stuff like the villager conversion chamber, the iron farm, villager breeder. We already have a nice potato farm over here. And if we could auto cook these potatoes, I think we would be in business. I have some thoughts and theories on how to improve the UPR at large, though. Wait, are you cooking? Wait, are you not making potatoes? Give him potatoes! Oh my god. Now, frankly, I can't remember why I wanted 2 zombies. Oh, I know why. Why did I give them both swords then? Okay, we'll get back to that. I wanted 2 zombies, one for a conversion chamber and one for a iron farm, but then they don't both need swords. So I'm actually really confused now why there's 2 zombies. I got partially distracted, but don't worry, we're almost done with the build, I swear. Come on, dude, I just replanted those crops. Where's my sword? Guys, I dropped my sword somewhere. Huh. Let's not talk about that? Maybe? I don't know how I dropped my sword like that. Okay. Okay, I think I got the beating heart of the steel mill. Now, I don't think I needed to do this, but frankly, I did it and I'm not going back. I might... I don't know. I'm gonna have to spruce it up so it doesn't look like dog shit. Which is what I'll do next. I just really needed to get the functional part of the steel mill out of the way before I started working on the decorative bits. And it would be pretty upsetting if I made a really nice looking steel mill and then it turned out it didn't work because I made it like a block or too small. That would be really frustrating. Anyway, it's just a standard iron farm. And a standard iron farm it is. This has been active for like only a minute or so now, like maybe 2 minutes. And it's already super profitable. Look at that. Anyway, my main idea for the steel mill was that we have like a nice like place that stores the iron that looks really cool and like a steel mill, I guess. I was thinking like you could walk up to little lava spouts that kind of looked like how do I say, like the casting things, like if you pour like molten metal into a cast and then like pull out the product, it would kind of look like that. And then like when you walk up to it, it like shoots out the iron ingots you've collected. Furthermore, I think we could use the poppies we collect for either a dye factory, which I think would be a little underwhelming, or we could use it for a bone meal factory, which would actually be kind of useful. However, before we do anything like that, we do have to move this villager pen somewhere else. So I'll start looking for a new place for that. Now, one thought I do have is to, like everything else villager related, bury it. We already have a buried villager potato farm, and we also have the buried iron farm, so we could bury the trading hall and only have select villagers that are like useful directly near the surface. So like for the textile mill, we could put the sheep up here. Wait, no, the textile mill is here. So like we could put the sheep on the surface, and then we could have some villagers just below the ground that you could sell to. I think that would be a really efficient way of using villagers. And then what we could do is have a trading hall and villager like zombification chamber right beneath the train station and brewery. That way it was like the closest to the iron farm and the textile mill, and where we're getting imports and exports, so we could just instantly load the villager trades onto a outgoing train and trade it. I think that would be a swell use of space. However, I need to check something. Okay, so the train station has a massive unused room right beneath the brewery access. Yeah, so hello, random grass block. Anyway, so that's the brewery access. What we could do is we could put really good villagers here. Mending villagers, really good like tool villagers, so on and so forth. We could put them right there, and then we have the main trading hall beneath that, and that way it's like right on the train station. I think that's a good idea, personally. Though with enough dilly-dallying, let's get on to it, shall we? Also, we really need to do something about that mob farm. It is atrocious. I originally had planned to bury it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to bury it over here. I think I'm going to have to do a very slow-paced creeper farm right around here, and put the mob farm... I don't know what to do. This is the munitions plant, so we do want a mob farm here. Just like, this is atrocious looking. Alright guys, a little bit of a progress update. I mined out a large space for a trading hall, and I had put the villager breeder because I thought, oh, I have enough space. And then I didn't have enough space for what I wanted to do. So then I had to mine out an even larger space. Also, if I sound a bit weird, it's because this is like a day later, 2 days later. I don't know. I don't keep very good track. And today I woke up with a terrible sore throat. Like, I mean, genuinely awful sore throat. Anyway, I'm going to have to move this down to be floor level, or at the very least, like, this part be floor level. So, yeah, that's gonna be very fun. I'm half tempted to put, like, a zombie, like, right here, and then they can zombify the villagers, and I can pull out zombie villagers. Though, I've heard people say you need to run villagers through zombification chambers multiple times. So, maybe not. Also, if there are zombie villagers here, they might despawn. Alright. Anyway, that's where we're at. I'm almost done. Also, something I'm quickly realizing while working on the UPR is both the UPR and Arcadia definitely need a easy to access cactus XP farm, because oh my god, my tools just won't stay fixed. I swear. And I can't go back to unloaded chunks that need me to like manually input a bunch of like cactus or something. It just it's not ideal, guys. It's It's not ideal. I'm gonna have to build one pretty soon. I don't think I'll need to build it before I can finish up the steel mill, though. Alright, well, I have no idea why this isn't working. Sorry, I woke up today with a sore throat. I have no idea why this isn't working, and I am genuinely thinking of jumping into creative and just like placing 2 villager spawn eggs and killing these 2. Though I am partially worried that maybe this specific breeding system might not work in the current update, which I think the current update is, or like the update we're using is 1.19, but I don't know. They keep on not entering the little chute that they need to be in, which is, I think, breaking the farm. This thing hasn't made any baby villagers. That being said, we did what we needed to do, which was get the villagers out of the main space so we can now put our steel mill up and decorate it all nice like. So even though this isn't working right now, it works for what we needed to do. So I'll get started on that now. You know, come to think of it, I'm actually pretty scared that there'll be just like some baby villagers that are running around. That'd be pretty bad, right? And we officially have a problem. All the stone, I went to go put the resources from the UPR work away, and the stone is overloading the system in the SOC tower. Let me show you over here, if I can. My God. Whoop, okay. I think it's this one. Yeah. So, this up here is like the last chest. It's full now. we have a problem. Yeah, I really need to get working on that spoil facility. There's nowhere to put the stone. Oh crap, that's actually really bad. Oh no. All right, one moment. I'm going to find a home for this stone. Well, I've got some unfortunate news for everyone. I can't seem to remember what I was doing last time I was recording, as it was like several weeks ago, like maybe even more than a month. So I'm just gonna like do things that I would do anyway and pretend that was the purpose of this video. Now, if I remember correctly, I was doing something with the UPR, I think in relation to a villager trading hall. Oh no, it's all coming back to me. Oh dear. Okay, so, hey, it's my channel. The reason I stopped playing on this server was because the villager breeder wasn't working. And I need to do something about that fact. Yeah, I really don't know why this thing isn't working. Like, I'm pretty sure the beds are placed the right way. The villagers were in the chamber at one point. I don't know, man. It's really frustrating, though. If you've got any thoughts on why this isn't working, feel free to, like, point it out in the comments. I'll be tinkering with this for a while. Anyway, if our villager breeder isn't working, I don't think we can really build a trading hall that effectively. So I feel like we should move on to some other form of industry to for the UPR. Now, this guy's actually got to go downstairs over to where the villager breeder is supposed to be working. And then we can probably take apart this mob farm, or better yet, put it somewhere else so that it's not an eyesore. Now comes the difficult part of trying to remember how I moved the other zombie. Oh no. Now, off camera, I started working on a thing. I just realized I should totally be standing next to it to introduce it. I started working on a giant cube of gold that was meant to represent how much gold there is in the world. How much gold there has been brought to the surface in the real world, like how much gold we actually can use. I think it's not, I think if I wanted to do all the gold in the world, it would be slightly bigger and it would be less accurate. But it turns out that all the gold in the world is actually quite a bit of gold. And so even though I feel confident in my capacity to make it, this is sort of going to be a project that I'm going to be working on for a while. So if you're interested, I'll be trying to do some progress updates on this. I'm thinking about just building a gold farm. I thought Fruity had one, so I was going to just pinch some off of him, but I couldn't find it. So if I get a gold farm, it'll be one I have to build. Which, you know what? I need some experience building a gold farm. I keep on seeing the usefulness of gold farms and then just ignoring them. It's kind of unfortunate. So all that said is I'm getting a massive brick of gold, and at some point I might build the gold farm. So with all that said and done, I think that leaves us with a few options, or rather it leaves us with infinite options, because I don't really know what to do moving the other projects forward that isn't going to take an immense amount of time or frustration. So right now I'm thinking about maybe starting a smaller, and by smaller I mean a large project that the base parts of can be done very quickly. Such as building a furnace line or an XP farm that uses cactus and so on, but it's set to record how much XP is in every furnace and be very efficient at that. That way people can actually get a sizable amount of XP very quickly without needing to be connected to an emerald or iron source. Because that's something I find really annoying, is every now and then I'll need a bunch of XP for, say, naming something, or I don't know. Sometimes I'll just need XP. Repairing equipment is often the thing I need it for. And if I need a bunch of XP, I then need to either go find a furnace that has not been interacted with for a while, or I'll need to spend the day trading with villagers. Not really day, but it takes about 10-ish, 30-ish minutes to get all my equipment recharged. That's kind of annoying. So I think somewhere in Arcadia specifically, if there was a furnace cactus farm, wow, I can't walk around like this. If there was a furnace cactus farm kind of deal going on, maybe I could connect it to Five Dyes. Sorry, Five Dyes is right over here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's this one, right? Diamond Street. Is it this one? No, it's this one. Okay. Yeah. So I could probably connect it, or not connect it, but put it somewhere close to Five Dyes. Ooh, I wanted to put something under this plaza for a while. Where's the other horse? My racing horse. Anyway, I could put it under this plaza, and then I could put a computer, a basic computer that records if it's over 30% or something, or not 30%, but 30 levels or something. And then that way, like, no matter what, like, the furnaces would be useful. You could also have it so it turns itself off after, like, 35 levels. Oh, dude, there's a lot of things we could do here, and it would really test my knowledge of redstone. Especially because, like, even if I can find a tutorial that does, like, exactly what I'm looking for, I would still need to, like, be pretty specific about what I want from it. All right, this is my horse. I was also thinking about setting up the land for, I remember Thomas said we shouldn't call it New Quarter, but I am still calling it New Quarter until like a better name jumps out at me, at least to like refer to the project. But I should probably also try and set up the land for New Quarter and maybe Queensland. I'm not sure if Queensland is an actual place IRL, but I've been working on like a little hamlet with a manor or something at the center that I think would like look very nice. And I would obviously, because it's me, I had to name it something stupid and LARPy like Queensland. And then we can have those as like different parts of the city. Because I noticed something that kind of disappointed me about Arcadia, and that everything sort of centers around the ATC building without a lot of stretching outside, like for the footprint of Arcadia, outside of explicitly the industrial district. Like, if we refer to Arcadia as New Arcadia, that, like, if we think of Arcadia in the sense of New Arcadia, the footprint excluding the industrial district, and maybe excluding the arena, the Olympic Stadium, but I don't want to exclude the Olympic Stadium personally, then Arcadia kind of occupies a really small footprint. Now, don't get me wrong, this is one of the larger footprints that a city of the No U has had. Like, I think the second largest footprint we had was on the modded server when I was making the Arcadian Empire like capital city, and I was working on the central plaza that was connected to like a housing space. Unfortunately, I don't have any like footage or images of that, but it was about the same size as the footprint of the ATC building, maybe a bit larger. And outside of that, there is a few towns in the original server that have a sizable footprint, but nothing this big, I don't think. I guess New Venice might have had a pretty decent footprint, but you know, I don't know. I think we could make the Arcadian footprint like feel larger by building New Quarter and maybe Queensland. I initially wanted to build Queensland as a maybe like No You season 3 thing, like oh yeah, this is like the place I'll occupy, it'll be like my base. But I clicked my end recording button instead of my F5 button. We could probably put Queensland in this season, and I think it would work well. Also, I think if we can actually make more rockets, we could justify. Wow, have I not been collecting? I don't think I have them. It's okay. If we make more rockets, we could justify putting more red rockets down. And so we could probably put one. Whoop. We could probably put a red rocket over somewhere over here, and then put one in Queensland and one in New Quarter, or the New Quarter. Still don't have a name for it. And then that would look quite nice, especially if I did like if I did them up like the local scenery, because New Quarter has been based off of the Houseman renovation. And Queensland is just like being based off of like when you think of a like ye olde like like a 18th century Hamlet kind of thing with like a manor. So I don't know. I think there's some stuff to be done here. With all that done and said, I'm going to begin working on that furnace thing I was talking about, and I'll get back to you if with progress updates. Okay, we had a small mishap with the stone storage. I would have talked about it while I was dealing with it, but was listening to music and it was like an evolving issue. So essentially, our stone almost overfilled, and I caught it like the last second. I kind of overreacted, but only kind of. These chests are like all of these chests full. This is like almost full. These are still empty, thankfully. Yeah, I was gonna come over here and drop off all my stone and other resources, but I think I should probably fill that chest setup first real quick. So let's do that. Let's drop off the resources that we do have in bulk and then drop off the stone. Actually, I should make sure that our dirt storage isn't in a similar spot. Why do we have end stone? Whatever. Where is the dirt storage? All right, and with all that handled and the auto sorter successfully ticking away, let's get back to work. This honestly isn't even close to finish. However, this is a pretty good progress update. I've been really meaning to do this for a while. I've wanted this place like empty for a variety of different reasons. At one point, I wanted to put all of our horses down here and have like a parking garage type situation. I think it actually works for like the XP lab much better, but you know, I'm pretty happy. It was actually, I mean, the tough part was that like it ate my pickaxe, but it wasn't actually as hard as I thought it was going to be. It was only about like hour 40 minutes of work. I had enough of like the haste potion, so like, you know, it wasn't that hard. Anyway, let us get started on the rest of what we're doing down here. I need to actually look up because I haven't been able to do it. I'm actually pretty bad at making like RAM units in computers, so I'm gonna actually need to look up how to count how many items or processes something does. So I can actually do a furnace line that calculates that correctly instead of being like, okay, you get access for like this long and it'll be roughly enough. All right, I just need to quickly explain some logic for the furnace farm. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how to cut a furnace off after it had roughly 30 levels in it. I know that's like a lot of levels, so like I was just trying to be like, okay, well, maybe this furnace is getting too much love, just so we, you know, can actually spread the XP around. Now, what I found was that item counters are really difficult. This is, I actually forget who did this, but this was some in a video about item package design, and it works like it doesn't work to what I want it to do, but it does do some interesting things. This is viewable from Mumbo's channel, Mumbo Jumbo, who did a scoreboard where you click a monostable circuit and it moves the score one over. And so what I've done is it's not here right now, but I'm going to use this design attached to the hopper line. And then I'm going to connect it to these scoreboard trackers. And now the example was 5, but so I was testing with 5, but realistically for the most compact data, I'll be using probably 16 sized modules instead of 5, just because that's going to be more compact. Anyway, there was something that was really bothering me. It was bothering me for like days on end. And it was that I didn't quite know what number meant what. And I think I have finally cracked the code, and it feels so good. So we'll actually be able to move on into making these furnace lines now. Now, the final problem I'm having is, and this is something I can actually address quite quickly, it's just like wiring everything and making sure that it's properly wired so that, first off, the furnaces will get cut off if they hit a certain score. And second off, when you flick this lever to, you know, disable the hopper, that it will send an input saying this furnace is free again, you know. I think this is all doable. The main issue I'm like really seeing is that this is going to be a lot of hoppers in a space that is quite central to walking. So I'm gonna need to figure out how to disable these hoppers. I think I can just Like, I think I can disable hoppers through a block, so that should be good. Actually, quickly before we get into it, I was designing a space for a sort of new section of town to go, and I was thinking over here, but I'm realizing that there's already a park here, so I can either only put a park here that makes this one seem useless or like bad, or like both parks would seem useless or bad because there's two parks next to each other. Or I connect like this part of town directly here. I don't really know what to do, and so I'm kind of opening it up. Opening. Jesus, I can't talk today. Opening it up to commenters. Should I put another park here, or should I just try and connect like a whole nother section of town like here? You know. Anyway, now let's get into it. Hey, so I know I said let's just crack on with it. That was like 2 or 3 days ago. I've been resource gathering, and amidst resource gathering, I started working on my base. And it's like nothing huge, just little touch-ups, naming my cats, which had been unnamed for a long time. And like I started working on my dojo because I realized I hadn't worked on this. Is dojo the right word? I feel like I've heard people refer to like a training room as a dojo a lot, but like I don't know. I don't think it's actually the right word. I think dojo might just mean house of some form. Maybe not like literally house, but just like like a type of house or something. Anyway, all I was going to try and say is that I haven't actually been working on like the furnace farm or the cactus farm or anything, even though I look, I built the cub fan coarse fruit farm because like I need a lot of coarse fruit. And I was going to work on like a blaze farm, and I realized I have spent a lot of time off camera just working on like some things to help with the furnace farm. Also, over here is so loud. It was so obnoxious to build this thing, and I'm still not done. Like you might be noticing it's missing something of a roof. It's missing like the top layer, in fact. Like yeah, it needs like one more, like 1.5 more layers of like, I think this is dark gray concrete. It's really hard to tell because I switched everything to German so I could like practice German passively more. Turns out I actually, fun fact on practicing German, let's go somewhere where it's a bit quieter. Over here, maybe. Yeah. So it turns out, while practicing German, I found out that I had the wrong word for glow because I had this drink at like a Christmas festival here in Germany called Glühwein. Germans in chat, you make great warm wine. But I thought Glühwein meant glowing wine, as in like wine that illuminated its surroundings. Turns out glue or refers to a warmth feeling, like the idea of warmth. Like Thomas explained it to me, like if you had like embers from a fire, you'd say ist wait, no, it's not ist. Das ist glue, glow is actually, ooh, I don't have it in front of me. Yeah, lauscht. Yeah, lauscht. So this is Lauschstein, which is glow stone, literally. Like Stein is stone, Lauscht is glow, illuminated stone. A literal translation is light stone. which I don't know. I found that really interesting because I had the wrong word. And it was like actually kind of taken off guard. I like remember I stopped a podcast me and Thomas were listening to while I was working, and I was like, Thomas, what's the word for glow? There's all sorts of things like that. I love when I think I know something and then I actually don't. Anyway, all that's to say is that I've been resource gathering and like doing little bits and bobs of work here and there. I never named my cats, which had always like slightly bothered me. And also all my cats were in like the back room where the dojo was being built. Again, I should probably just call this the training room. But now I have it in my head that it's a dojo. Anyway, I had never named my cats, so now I've got now I named them all names that I think are fitting. We got Roberta, Henry, Scott is this one? Yeah, and Tina, which I wasn't sold on Tina, but eh. Anyway, now I think I have all the resources I need. I think I have the blueprint for what design I'm going to use. I still am not certain on how I'm going to do the resetting mechanism. My brain just says like do an RS NOR latch that like gives an input to like set everything to zero everything out. I mean, that's like governed by the same like lock mechanism. And how I'm going to like source the fuel. I don't want to use Wonder Fuel. If you don't know what I mean by that, then that's on you. Just because like I think kelp needs to be crafted. I think kelp blocks, like I don't think kelp on its own burns, and I think kelp blocks like would be really annoying to craft. Especially because like I'm expecting like very intermittent, no, sporadic, no, irregular, no, not a constant flow of cactus. It would be kind of a waste to use kelp blocks unless I was using item packets, and while item packets would let the rest of the machine run better, I don't want to use item packets because that would like add a whole nother thing. So I think I'm going to have to use a bamboo setup. And the reason I'm hesitant to use bamboo is because like every time I've used bamboo, I've needed to supplement the fuel somehow. Like if I ever like use a lot of if I ever use this farm a lot, which I do occasionally, like I need to come in here and put the charcoal that I'm baking back into the fuel feed, or I need to like throw some extra coal or lava buckets or blaze. I can't remember if it's blaze powder or blaze rods that act as fuel, but you know, I haven't done that, but I might start doing that, considering that even though I don't currently have a blaze farm, it's going to be something I do very soon. Thomas mentioned something of having a blaze spawner because we had a plugin that let us pick up spawners, and I can't find it, and that plugin isn't working anymore, so we can't go in and pick up the spawners. Like for some reason the plugin stopped working to let us pick up spawners, and that's annoying because I would like to just go into the nether, pick up a spawner, and bring it back and like bathe a blaze spawner in water like somewhere close. Sorry, there's like a lot of things on my mind. You caught me like mid like total like in the zone Minecrafting. because I realized there was like some things that like I wouldn't mention. I hadn't planned to mention, but that I thought were like, okay, well, I'm not going to get to the like furnace thing anytime soon unless I do, unless I call attention to the fact that I'm not working on it. Anyway, so if I can't figure out where that blaze spawner is, then I'm going to have to build another one, which I don't mind. That's what everyone else has to do. And if I can figure out where it is, then I can put it right next to the iron farm, which I'm not sure if the iron farm works. I haven't been seeing iron golems fall, but I have to assume it is. Like, I hear it. I hear the villagers, and I heard the zombie earlier. Yeah, so there must be iron golems. Really wish I could go into spectator in this one. Anyway, that's all. That's like the recap. I went blaze farming. I built a Enrod, or like a proper coarse fruit farm, cup fence design. I initially didn't respect the design because I was like, oh well, that's not what I would do. And then I very quickly figured out like why every piece was there. It's actually a better farm than like initial thoughts would give it credit for, because it doesn't seem like the quote unquote redstoner solution, but it really is. It's a good farm. Anyway, sorry with all of that. I just like I needed to talk about something to remind myself I needed to work on the furnace line. So without further ado, let's actually get into it now. Okay, one more thing before I get started on the furnace thing, I swear. And that should do it. We still need to put some plants about and some lighting of some form. I was thinking glow lichen here, but I'm actually thinking glow berries maybe from the trees. But I also think that's like super extra. Also, sorry, I just knocked my mouse. I was thinking those lamps from over there, but I'm not sure how much they'll actually illuminate. And also, I'm not sure if I'll have like enough room for that. And then like the final idea was maybe like idea was maybe some like candles about the tree base, something like that. Dude, this has been like in my head. I don't know what I want to surround these trees with, because like I feel like it should be not like industrial, but like made industrially, like the same way like I think of like bricks or something. I don't know what I want to do here. The video I got this from a Gemini Tay short, and she had little like stairs that were holding it in place, and I thought that was cute. But like I also like I don't want to do that, you know. Like I want to do something a little. Listen, I've been decorating a lot of things lately with things that are not my own, and I kind of just want to like go back to like base principles and make something like not uniquely me, but something that like I came up with independently of someone else. But yeah, I think these look really pretty. I just need to figure out what to do about like down here. Honestly, I'm really thinking about just doing like some bricks. Just some bricks. Just like, hold on. Ignore this mess. I don't have any terracotta lying around. Like me, the person who discovered how good terracotta was to build with and then like made it their entire personality, doesn't have any terracotta lying around. Like, really? Okay, well. And I apparently don't even have that much clay lying around either. Oh my god. Alright, well. And I apparently don't even have... You're kidding, I don't even have granite? Oh my god. Okay, well, I at the very least have, like, some raw granite, so, I mean, it's not, like, all bad. Do I use more andesite or granite, I wonder? Because I use andesite a lot when I want gray buildings, but I've been really trying to go for, like, this, rusty red kind of thing a lot lately. I think the rusty red thing looks good. I just thought I would have had, you know, more of it. Okay, I think I've talked about it before. I have been playing like 1.0, and so in my head, bricks are really expensive. And granted, they're not like cheap in this version. We're playing 1.19.2. But, like, you know, they're significantly cheaper than they are in 1.0. But, like, in my head, I was like, okay, I really got to make these stretch. So whatever goes, like, if I place a half slab down, it's got to be, it can't have bricks beneath it. Though I'm just gonna build, like, normal. Now, we are actually a bit low in terracotta, so I'm only going to use it in, like, the most weathered spaces. So, like, here, and anywhere there might be, like, a huge turn, or they're, like, really close to, like, something that will weather them, like water. And away from shade, that kind of stuff. And we should have, you know what, I'm gonna make that one a little messy too. This should be about right. Let's make that one that. And then, you know what, I want to make one of these front ones into brick, actually, because, like, very, I want brick to be spotlit here. Like, they are brick planters. It's just like, you know, they're a little weathered, and they're not like, you're not supposed to, like, look at brick. You know, there's something to, like, break up the brick because it's been here for a while, and it's, like, you know, a little dusty, it's got some stuff in the cracks, so on and so forth. You're not really supposed to look at it, but, you know, if you do, you should see some brick. Shouldn't all be hidden back here. I noticed I was, like, hiding the brick because, like, following weathering patterns, and yes, I'm that nerd who studied weathering patterns so I could build more in Minecraft. Following weather patterns, like, back here would be, like, the least weathered, while, like, places like over here would be very weathered. Places closer to the path and away from the shade would be more weathered. And then, like, you know, like, this would kick up dust. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah. Jeez. Anyway, now we are actually kicking off into the goddamn build that I've wanted to do. It's so hard when you have an idea. It's like, oh yeah, we could do this, guys. We could do that, guys. Have you even considered we could do this? It's so hard. Dude, this video is going to be, like, easily over 40 minutes, and I have no problem with that. I'm actually really psyched about, like, actually getting into Minecraft. Like, I feel like I wean and wave on Minecraft, so it's nice to, like, just, like, unambiguously just have a reason to play Minecraft and, like, really just enjoy it. Like, normally I feel like I've got, like, a weight on my shoulders telling me, like, oh yeah, you need to do, like, X, Y, or Z. And, like, I don't know, recently I've just been like, nah, make a mess, make a mistake. It's all right. Don't worry. Enjoy it. Like, for example, I was, like, I have this packed mud. I almost called it fertilizer. Oh my god. I have this packed mud, and I remember why I had it and why I was collecting it, but I'm not working on that project right now. And like, that's all right. Like, it's okay that I'm not, like, I started getting the resources together for something I'm not actually working on. I should put it somewhere else, though, for right now, because I am going to get back to that. Or at the very least, I fully intend to. My dripstone getting sorted? Like, my dripstone is, but, like, the pointed isn't. Interesting. Well, regardless. I'll just throw it all in the trash. I don't have something for it right now. And then I can come back to it later. Do I have something for sea lanterns? Like, this is what I mean. Anyway. All right. Okay, so we have I set up the F5 just to not use it. So I actually slightly ran out of resources while working on the cactus part of this. This, of course, is the Il Mango cactus farm. I wanted to make it like essentially all of this sand is supposed to be used by the end, and we were really far off. We had 10 stacks, and now we have what is this, like a little less than 7. This is still a lot of cactus, but this just isn't gonna hit the numbers we need. But I almost think that's okay. Like, if we're just like not hitting the numbers we need, that's fine, right? Like, hold on, let me try something real quick. Okay, so I quickly built a channel underneath this just to see what kind of flow we're getting. Because I realized suddenly that I might have calculated how many cactus I need per hour, roughly, without making consideration for how much cactus I can actually process. I wanted to see how much I was getting off of like this small array right here. Also, my throat's a bit scratchy, so it sounds a bit hoarse right now. I'm sorry about that. So I'm very quickly going to return all of the stuff I have right now, so I can get a better understanding of how much like a cactus I'm making. Because if I'm making too much cactus, I can't do I can't do what I had originally planned. Okay, so it's my channel name. We were standing here for a little while, just about 30-ish minutes roughly, to see how much we collect. And I can say 30-ish minutes because it's how long my mom usually takes to explain something. She called me in the downtime. We collected quite a bit, and I think this is gonna overwhelm a simple furnace. We can actually, I don't think we can cook this in a smoker. We can actually run the math and see how much this will produce and how many items per hour a simple furnace can work through, like how many processes per hour a simple furnace can do. And it should give us some pretty revealing results. Yeah, little taste of product there. If we do this more, then we're going to have to expand the furnace line. I mean, initially what I was expecting was to have to do like 5 or so furnaces, I don't know, to distribute the load. But honestly, we're gonna need, I was gonna have one backup furnace, but I'm thinking we'll need multiple backup furnaces so that we can always like be cooking the cactus and it's not like jamming systems or causing server lag or something. And also something that immediately jumps out to me is we're going to need a system. Like I knew we were going to need a system to deal with overflow. We're going to need a system to deal with overflow much sooner than I thought we were going to. Also, we need a system to get fuel into these furnaces, because that's something that I thought about. I thought I could just use like a simple bamboo farm. I no longer am sympathetic with that point of view. I'll put it that way. I think we're going to need to have a actual, like, more dedicated fuel source. Part of me wants to say a wither skeleton farm or a blaze farm, and we simply send some of the fuel that we generate at those respective farms to this building. But I also think that like that seems like a something of a stopgap solution. It means that every now and then I need to remember to come over here and throw like some fuel in, and I don't want to be doing that forever, you know? And then if I start doing that, that's going to be the forever solution. That's going to be what this machine eventually will come to rely on. And that's why I still have hope for the bamboo farm. Maybe what we do is we have a input for backup fuel, for like, is it blaze rods or blaze powder that's used? But like, the blaze fuel or the coal from wither skeletons or something like that, lava. We have that as like a almost stopgap solution. And then we have a normal bamboo farm next to it, and then they'll both feed to the same furnace array. Sorry, this is just like, I've been thinking about this quite a lot. That's actually why I've been like wasting time building so much, is because like I didn't have all the answers I felt like I needed for these kinds of things. Also, dude, this is making so much cactus. It's such a good Ilmango in his infinite wisdom gifted us literally the best farm ever. And like this isn't even at scale. This is like the smallest version of this farm. So yeah, we're gonna throw another layer on this once we can actually afford to, because again, we ran out of material. We might also remove the current water flow and put a layer under it. Maybe expand it out to here. I was thinking of changing this path to be 1 block tall and utilize ice, but I'm not sure if like we can actually do that. But I'll definitely try. And so yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. Well, I took a break from working on the furnace array. I really don't think I'm like, oh yeah, I want to work on the furnace thing. And I don't think I'm gonna be able to work on it in this video, or like I'm not gonna be able to complete it in this video. I really thought I could, but that was like before I was like, oh, you know what? I could do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And so I went ahead and I had a little go at just like I noticed this part of my house was undecorated, and I've been really experimenting with like I don't quite know the right word, but like kind of adding a little character, a little something to like the environment. And so I thought, oh well, maybe like I could add like a little place where like I rest and like look out at like the goings on in Arcadia. Or like downtown Arcadia right outside my house. And so I got some water and some sunset sarsaparilla and some like different types of beer and like a cooler, and I can just kind of like look out now. I think it looks nice. I actually realized with the invisible item frames I could do these little like flowers using the sunflowers. I feel like there's other flowers I could do this for. But I started adding them around, and I went ahead and did Ellis a favor because I figured she would also want this, and added like one outside her shop because like I feel like that's fitting. I think this is all the 2 high flowers, but I'll need to look it up just in case. I was just in creative actually. I was testing like campfires. And if this isn't them all, then I'll need to like make some space for some more flower bushes. And if this is them all, then I have like all the flower, like the 2 tall flowers. I actually pinched some like small drip leaf off of Hazel. Like she apparently had some like over here. And I stole some with the understanding that like I could farm it, and then I bone milled it, and it just turned into a large drip leaf, and now I'm sad because I'm like I wanted the drip leaf. Because I thought like the small drip leaves looked kind of like a vining plant kind of thing, and I wanted to like add them similar to how I add like ferns and grass. And I just like I don't I think you need to find drip a small drip leaf. I don't think they can be farmed in any way, though I'm open to hear the contrary. I think they look nice, and I want to build with them. But I can't farm them, so I'm gonna be a little hesitant for right now. Anyway, that's what I have been doing. Oh yeah, I wanted to say I wanted to open a tea house somewhere because there's a few like color palettes I'm becoming aware of that I really want to experiment with. That I think would work really well in like a tea house or something. And I don't really I don't I don't want to build another restaurant because like I feel like this town already has like 50 restaurants. Like I could point to 3 just where I'm standing. You know, there's like a restaurant down there. There's a restaurant up like slightly higher than where I'm looking, I think. There's a restaurant. This I would qualify as a restaurant. I think this is a restaurant. Yeah, this is literally a tea shop. You know, there's so many restaurants. I don't wanna add another restaurant that's never used. But like I feel like a cute little tea house could be nice. And so I will bite the bullet and make another restaurant. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to wrap up this video just because if I don't, I'm going to go mad, and that is not good for anyone involved. I think in the next video, just so I can like think about it, is I'm going to not use the super fast villager breeder that like does villagers and potatoes and all this, that, and the other. I'm just gonna do like the oldie villager breeder where like you throw them in a pen and you take out villagers when you need them, and yeah. I should have done that earlier, but I didn't because I thought, oh, I could just get this villager breeder to work, and then when it didn't, I have a tendency to just throw my hands up, when the first idea doesn't work. So that's gonna be something I think we'll do in the next video. We might work on, one moment. In the next video, I want to work on this coffee shop. I started working on it and then like I just didn't know where I was going with it and stopped working on it. I could probably fly over and quickly finish the Guardian farm, but I don't know, I might want to make like an actual video out of that instead of like trying to make like a quick like footnote in the video about it, because like I might consider that task quick, but it's going to like occupy a lot of like mental bandwidth. I also want to connect Hazel's village. I'm thinking of putting like luxury residence or convention centers out here, so we can connect like New Arcadia with Hazel's village. There was a structure I was actually supposed to build there, so I'll probably like build that on like the gateway, and then like if Hazel ever comes back on, like she can finish her village. And if she doesn't, then like we at the very least have like a connection and it's not like sitting out there weirdly. I might also clean up some of the mess the World Eater made, because this, I don't know what's wrong with this World Eater. It's the one World Eater that leaves a bunch of mess in the air, and I'm not huge about that. So I might go and clean that up in like maybe in between videos. I'm out of rocket, so I can't really fly around. Yeah, I'm just like thinking about what I can work on next video. So we got the continue working on the UPR, the thing we were supposed to do in this video. Finish, you know what? We'll work on the next video when we're on the next video. I'll see you next time. This has been Lizzie from OkSoStudios signing off. Bye-bye.